One step for mankind. One step for me. Voila. Madame? Madame. Is this okay?
Birgitta, so we both have used yoga as a transformative tool to get into our true north and to find that, true inner essence and live from that.
Is that the true north? Does that?
Yeah, what is the true north to you?
I don't know. Well, I suppose true north, speaking map-wise or astrologically, it's supposed to be the direction you would be aiming for in this lifetime, how you would expand all your inner potential and feel that you are living life to the fullest. And usually that does not just come without any kind of challenges.
Yeah, and I think this is where it comes in the interesting thing when you say the geographical true north. So since I have a background from the military, we used maps a lot, and we have the north and then we have the true north. And I guess that is where we are. So it's a little bit of difference.
What's the difference? Really?
So, yeah, there is a difference. So there's a true north on the map, but if you are finding the magnetic north, that's a difference.
Yeah.
So when you're using the maps which are square and we are on a round planet, there will be a difference. So there's a true north and there's a north on the map. So finding the true north is sometimes we have that direction in life, but it seems like we are a little bit off. And I feel that is the true north when you have like, okay, I have done all these things, I have achieved these things. It feels kind of like I've done the right things, but still there is some kind of emptiness. It's not completely aligned, to put it that way. So I find that is beautiful with like the true north in the geographical sense as well.
But in this case, the true north would be your truth of your life story, which would be different than someone else's, of course, and that would not have anything to do with a geographical map. It would have to do with your skills and your talents and your aims, goals and aspirations, right?
Yeah.
So there is a difference.
Yeah. And so you feel that little difference, I think, but sometimes you don't know what it is, right? You just feel like there's something that's a bit off. And then I feel that is the true north when you go back into like, this lands.
Okay, so here we are, two ladies. We're on the beach. We're doing our own thing. We've conquered some challenges. We're not 19 years for sure anymore, just 20. And you've been in the military. I worked in the press and PR. And are you set now? Are you on your path now? Are you aligned?
Yeah, aligned. I think that is interesting. I think I work on that alignment for myself, at least. I work on that alignment actually every day, like in every moment. Being true to what feels right now here and now. So sometimes I wander off a bit, out of course, right?
Are you allowed to do that?
Oh,
Being a
definitely.
coach,
Oh yeah,
and a
definitely.
certified yoga teacher, and an entrepreneur of the yoga biz, etc. Are you allowed to divert from your path?
Experiencing life, I found out there's nothing like perfect. There's nothing which is perfect, and I think that's the
Damn.
flow of life. That nothing in nature stands still, right? Nothing in nature is perfect that way. Everything is evolving constantly.
You're just like a leaf, flying, floating, dancing in the wind, or is there more of a rootedness
I would
somewhere?
definitely say it's more of a direction.
Okay.
At least that when I found my true north, it's the direction, but still flowing, right? More like a river, I would say. The river has a set direction, but it still flows with this, where over the rocks and in the valley. It doesn't try to go over the valley. No, never.
This is becoming mighty poetic. So besides being this poetic, serene soul, you actually have a more of a hardcore, traditional military background. How did you ever fuse or merge the two together, or did you just split off from that? Now you're cha-ching, suddenly someone else because you found the mat.
Oh yeah, that's interesting, and bringing the yoga aspect into that. So definitely when I was in the military, I think that was needed for me.
What did you do in the military?
So I did long range reconnaissance, which is basically packing everything you have in a big rucksack and walking.
Would it be any kind of James Bond work in there? Would it be any kind of undercover?
After a while I did that as well. So I've done several things. I've done a lot within reconnaissance, intelligence, yeah. So it was hard physical work, but a lot of discipline because we had to manage on our own. We had to survive without just with the things we could carry with us. So it required discipline to not lose anything because you needed everything to survive. And so discipline, I think, was important for me
and
at that time.
you still have that today in your yoga business, your discipline and focus and
I think I'm
traditional values.
I'm trying to balance the discipline more.
Yeah.
So I had very strict discipline for a while. It became too strict, I think. So for me, like finding that true north has been going back and forth a couple of times before I found like, hey, this is too much discipline, because we need some discipline and some routines,
But
right?
you're out of the military now. For how many years?
Oh, it's been 10.
Do you miss it?
No.
No. Okay. And you're such a beautiful yoga entrepreneur, having founded a yoga farm. What are you doing today?
So today I'm working with what I call soul alignment.
What is that?
That is finding that true north and finding out how to live by your true north.
Would that be a coaching program? If I didn't know what is south and north in my soul, my life, my spirit, my body, would I call you and can you please find my true north?
Yeah.
Great.
I think this brings it over to you, actually.
Me?
Yeah,
No,
definitely.
we're not done. So you're living your true north now. Being
Yeah.
a coach.
Definitely. Or I'm
Spiritual coach.
absolutely aware of my true north, so I can live more by it. But because it's moving all the time, sometimes I'm a little bit off course, but then I know the signs to look for when I'm off course, so I can get back on course again.
And
also,
today you help other people to find that essence of a diamond in a rock, peace, serene feeling. I'm home. That's it. Eureka! I'm here. Something like that. The lights
that was
on,
a very
right?
posh
Yes. Well, you do the poetry. I'll do the slogans, the headlines. That's press work.
Yeah, the press work.
The press works.
I'm amazed about the word. But yeah, I think it's that landing in yourself, feeling at home with yourself, feeling like, hey, this feels right. Life feels meaningful. If I'm feeling fulfilled. When I wake up in the morning, I'm excited to start my day. So there are these little signs to look for when you have more energy, for instance. So for many years I was burned out, and a part of that burnout was definitely me not being on my true north. And it just created so much resistance in me, it just sucked away all my energy.
So a grey day, tiredness, life's not worth living.
Yes, so
hitting the wall. clear signs.
Yeah, and depression for many.
Depression,
yeah,
yeah.
I had really, I was really depressed for many years. But
What's your program today called? The soul alignment.
it's called soul alignment.
Beautiful.
Aligned.
How many weeks, months, days, nights?
So we do actually a 10-month
years?
program. So we're actually putting this into practice for 10 months in our lives.
Online.
Yeah. So we meet online and we put it into practice. Because I think that was the difficult part for me. I learned so much of the theory, but I didn't have anyone to coach me in that whole aspect over a period of time, so I could actually integrate it and you know, really embody it.
And it consists of talking, discussions, online coaching, yoga.
So yeah, so what we do
nourishment,
is
nutrition.
both. Yeah, so both do the nutrition work, since I'm a nutritionist as well, and I bring in the yoga as one of the tools, and a lot of meditation and deep inner work. So also the personal development comes into this as a part of moving forward. So we get to shift, right? So usually when we're not on our true north, it's because we have these habits that kind of keeps us out of it. And I also use regression therapy, so I'm also a regression therapist and bringing people
What
back
is
to
that?
past. That is bringing people back to past lives.
Past lives?
Past lives.
Past lives.
So, yeah, I think.
What were you in a past life? A nun?
Oh, I was several things.
A knight?
I've been so many things,
Yeah.
like everything from a politician to a farmer, and like this queen thing in a big, Egyptian pyramid.
I think I was actually some sort of dancer in Egypt or in the old
Maybe
Greek culture
Yeah.
in a temple, but no one was allowed to touch me. I remember that. It was just like show. Maybe a teaser? No, that's not nice.
Where did you visit your past life?
I
What did
don't,
you do?
and I think I've been a knight, a boy. I can see myself fencing, jumping around, doing gymnastics, and hey, horses, woohoo, ka-ching, 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 ka-ching.
I love that.
I'll save the princess in the tower.
I'll be the princess.
That's somehow I feel.
Yeah.
But we are getting off track here now.
Lovely.
We're off the true north. Yes.
We're off our true north for this for today.
Yes.
So, but definitely, so bringing all those things, like different tools into a program of finding that soul alignment, that true north in ourselves, was my experience through many years of searching for that true north.
And you found it.
You're asking like you're laughing out.
No, I just wanted to be clear because I have encountered. Maybe it sounds like I'm joking, but it is and it's not, because haven't you felt in your life that finally I'm there, this is it, and then 2 years down the road, oh, it's not yoga. Yoga was a transformative tool. I'm going further back. I'm going back into the arts, painting arts, fine arts, poetry, etc. So it's like peeling off the onion. You think you're there, and then there's another layer. Then there's just
But that's
something
absolutely,
more.
yeah, that's absolutely
That's
a
why I
part
was
of it.
asking.
Yeah, that's absolutely a part of it. I think it's a very, very good way to put it. Like you have these things happening in your life, and you feel you're in the right place and doing all the right
Yes.
things, and suddenly you aren't anymore. And that's kind of the river. The river has bends, so life is not going in one.
so we're
one
never
straight
getting
direction.
there. Is that the point?
Well, the thing is, it's like a journey. So you're not getting there and standing still, but because you're moving, you get
Moving
to
targets.
yeah, you get to feel into that soul alignment,
Okay.
like on an everyday basis.
Thank you. I am enlightened.
I love that.
Yes.
I'm happy to enlighten people. I
Thank
can
you.
continue doing that. So, but what about you? So you have, because you also have been using yoga
Yep.
for finding that inner peace, or what? Yeah, tell me more. Why did you start with yoga? And where did you-
Actually, I came to yoga of health reasons and emotional turmoil in my life. I went through a terrible divorce, and before we divorced, my whole physical system cracked down. People thought I had cancer, I was anorectic, I was whatnot, and I was in and out of hospital, and I had big time food allergy. My whole immune system just played up a big charade on me, and I had not cancer, not brain tumor, I was not anorectic. It was simply, I suppose, unexpressed grief, because we hadn't come to the conclusion in the end of our marriage. It began 2 years ahead of that final signature on the papers, and I was in my late 20s, and I knew there was a lot of talking about gut feelings and be true to yourself, and read signals and talk with your partner and communicate and all that. And I was very well versed in the areas of communication, PR, press, and also arts, actually. But I suppose I had never encountered a physical emotional breakdown before. And I found that when I tried yoga, I could certainly eat more, I could digest better, I could sleep more. I was balancing my nervous system, and I suppose that's when I started painting, certainly the kitchen yellow, the office purple, the closet.
Was that when the artist in you came out?
Well, my ex-husband came home and thought that maybe we should start buying canvas instead of wall painting, because he had not been prepared for this when he left the office that morning. So that was, I suppose, the beginning of the end.
Are you a spontaneous person?
Yes and no. Yes, I am. And then I think I've learned to moderate it a bit. So yoga became a transformative tool of finding hope, life, and my own health and stamina. And I left for Los Angeles. I was just supposed to be there 3 months, and I took a yoga teacher training because I had a background from ballet and fitness originally, so I thought it was an add-on, build-on. But what was 3 months ended up to be 5 years back and forth in fine arts education, and spending all that money from my marriage. And officially not a good thing, but privately a very, very solid reason to be on this planet Earth and live and explore. And
I think this is interesting. So what I hear you say is that you actually spent the money, which probably, if you were very
was supposed to go to a new life, new apartment, new re-establishment of.
Would you then say that you there and then followed your true inner soul calling?
Yes, I felt a strong calling. The grief shocked me into a state of what I do with my life. And I had actually taken art in high school, and I went back to that. I always wanted either to be a dancer, artist, actress, or writer, and so I kind of segued into those areas, but not quite fully, just sort of, PR press, teaching on the side, painting on the side, and then I'm doing that. And I took performance art in Los Angeles. I was on the stage performing poetry, did yoga events. I did everything I would probably not have done if I'd stayed in Oslo. So yoga brought me into a new world of hard work, and also I started getting these flashes stronger and stronger that I had as a child, seeing things to music, because I'm a synesthete, and that means I have sort of a brain condition that my neurocenter area between colors and sound are more intertwined than with other human beings, and it's from birth, and it's a genetic condition, and it's quite amusing. But I had to be knocked down on my knees. I was only weighing 42 kilos.
That's very
And I suppose everything that got ripped off just made room for
new things to come in.
To come up.
Yeah.
To come forth. And I suppose that's part of the true north in my life, just to go through challenges to stir up that childhood dream of becoming a true artist. So that's what I'm trying. I suppose that's my true north.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely. And I've seen you in action when you paint. And synesthetics, do I pronounce it correctly?
Synesthesia is
when you see colors, when you hear sounds.
That's a synesthetic experience. Chromatia is sort of the subsection of those, and I see colors to music. They're floating, dancing in front of me. Today we've got water. I got the sound of water. And when you talk, I see orange.
That's beautiful. I'm going to ask you more often, like, what color do I look like today? So let's take a look at this.
When I do live music painting events, I do that along with other musicians, singers, actors. We create a show and we create a piece of art right there and then.
It's because it's definitely a show, and
yeah,
I love
it's
when you put them on.
art. Yeah.
So there's definitely performance art, and what comes out of it is beautiful.
No, thank you. I have no clue what I'm doing right now. I'm just trying to explore a little bit.
So now you're just kind of seeing or listening to the sounds around you and picking shapes and colors and whatever comes through.
It sounds very wonderful if that was the truth. I'm actually just trying to prep the canvas for a bigger dream.
You just understand that I'm not the artist.
Ouch.
But I definitely
But yes, you're onto it. And I think this piece may be ready some other day, and maybe we'll put it up on the
definitely we should find a link.
etc.
Put a link to it.
For people watching this little film, they will be guided into my website, etc. But I think this is actually wrapping it up. Yoga was the transformative tool for me to get getting back to my true childhood sense of true north.
Yeah, which was the art.
It was always the art. It was always the art.
It was always the art.
Yeah. So
because you worked as a model, you were in PR.
Yeah.
So and you still do PR jobs. So because you have that, and you're very good at that. And
thank you.
And still when I see you working as an artist, I literally see you light up. That's what I see in people. I don't see all the colors, but I see the light when I see that light just sparkling.
I'm very happy. This is my happiest time in my life when I create all this. I'm not sure if I would want you to judge the painting, the sketch, this little canvas right now from being the happiest time in my life. We're surely getting somewhere. And mind you, it takes more than 20 minutes to create a piece of art for me. This is just prep work of a great glorious turquoise sky coming in the future with maybe some water, and maybe I'll create a little you in there.
Oh, definitely. I'm going to be a little orange light bulb down in the left corner, right?
But I think we wrapped it up fairly well now.
So how can we use colors? I mean, because people can do this themselves as well. I know you have a lot of passion about using colors as like getting into your true self. So what would you recommend for people to do if they're at home and they're not an artist? Because I know sometimes sit and just playing with colors is just something that, you know, there's no time and space. You just pop into another dimension.
Personally, I completely lose track of time. And that's fine as a meditative tool if you need to do something instead of just sitting on a mat and do nothing. Sorry, I know you're doing a lot when you sit on the mat, but yes.
Yeah, we are.
And colors can also be used therapeutically. If you think about Burger King and you think about McDonald's, they've chosen colors such as bright red, bright yellow, bright orange. It heats you up, makes you hungry. You want to dig in there and get there. Now, if you have eaten too much food, apparently, according to color therapy, choosing light pink and lavender will make you satisfied with less. Yes. And of course, if you feel black, maybe you should not paint your walls black. Maybe you should light it up with a more fresh turquoise color. Turquoise, blue sky colors usually are supposed to be healing colors. They lift the mood, they clear your mind. Think about clear crystal, aquamarine, topaz crystals. That's into the crystal world.
When you say this, I feel like some of this is quite intuitive actually. Like
it is very intuitive, because most of us, we think it's intuitive because we're so used to it, because most of the time people get this right, but sometimes they get it wrong. and they start up a health clinic and they paint the walls bright red. So people come in there and they're supposed to relax, and then they get all fired up and they get aggressive and they get edgy and antsy.
So that's what can happen if we have too much red.
That's a bad example of how not to do it.
Yeah. Because this reminds me of people who are very powerful, on fire. They're always wearing like bright red lipstick.
Oh yeah, think about presidents with a red tie.
Yeah,
right?
and red tie.
Here
right?
I am,
red
I'm masculine, I'm in charge, I'm a leader. The red is also the color of the bright leader, taking charge, you know, moving ahead, and trust me, I've got the solution.
So can you then wear red and
the lady in red you're seeing?
Yeah, like
right?
flex a bit into that personality when you need it.
Yes,
so
you can go a tad towards red wine colors.
Yeah.
That's more subdued. That's more like, okay, we'll sit down and talk to it. I'm not necessarily right, but I could be right.
I love that.
I'm just burgundy.
Yeah. But I think using colors like that can both like help you.
Power dressing, that's what we call like power dressing. Dressing up,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And used wisely, and if you buy paintings wisely, you can lit up a room, but you can also make it more damp and sad in a way, right? So usually you go for the opposite, you go for the contrast. Are you in black heavy moods, do not paint the walls black. Are you very airy up there, light-footed, all in your head? Maybe you need to be grounded more. Maybe go for earthy colors, dark rusty colors, burgundy, soft oranges, earthy green tones, moss tones, etc. So colors are extremely interesting to me, not just because of the sake that I can see colors to music, but simply because that it's an expression of who you are. But sometimes people don't know. They just put on clothes, and I'm thinking, do you know what you're signalizing wearing those clothes? Maybe yes, maybe not.
This is super interesting. And how would you say this can support people in finding more that true north if they feel like they have ended up a little bit off course?
Well, sometimes I would say just go for what feels right, intuitively. Not think what is right, what would a scholar do, what should I do, what would mom do, what would dad do, what would my ex-boyfriend, girlfriend do, but what just feels home. Home, I think. And yeah, many people are afraid of buying art because I don't know anything about art, I didn't take art in school, I'm not so sure this will give me a payback in the future financially, etc., etc. Well, what do you like? What makes you feel joyful / relaxed? But then again, you have people that want to be provoked. They want to basically meet the middle finger when they get home, when they buy that kind of
they
pop
need
art.
that more drama in their lives.
Yes, bigger the better, loud, and then feel, I would say red.
Yeah.
That would be into the red zone for me.
Definitely. And when we're here painting, and I just love the colors.
This
by
is
the
very
way.
sweet. This is very pastelish, girly,
and it goes beautifully with like a scenery with the sea. Definitely. And this is like is this pink laughter?
Well, maybe it's pink laughter today. Maybe it is. Maybe it's the laughter by the sea.
Yeah.
It could be a novel from Cornwall in southern England. Laughter by the sea. Having found the true north, and then they went on and laughed by the sea.
Yeah. I think it's nice to make fun of it as well, because sometimes
it's
when
so
you have
serious. It's so serious.
Not art is serious, and not finding the true north is serious. I think life in general shouldn't be taken too serious. What about you? What is your take on that?
I take life too serious. I'm dead serious about everything. Although I smile and I can have a deadpan humor, I've always had that inner sense of being an old soul.
And then you go too much into the perfection and the seriosity of it.
No, it's more like, what more can I learn? How far can I go? How much more can I see? It has nothing to do about competitive mood. It's just how
curiosity.
Much. Yes.
Yeah,
how
your
much
own curiosity
is there to explore?
Yeah.
Yes. And for me, art is healing. I've found many soothing, healing moments in that when the mat was just not enough. It was just there looking at me, and I didn't want to join in with the mat. So I said, you stay there for a few more months, weeks. I'll be back.
I love that.
Is this a moment for a cat slap?
We are so good at klatsa. And